Good morning, Raymer Wood viewers. Last few days it's been raining. I have done zero work in the wood yard. I'm headed out to the woods. Why am I headed out to the woods? To make a trail. Just a small, simple little trail. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. That's kind of where I park, way up there at the top of the hill. You can see my white truck there. And I will turn this thing around. All right, so here I am now. Here's the pond, stock pond that my I think it's just my grandfather. I don't think it's my great grandfather, but pretty sure it's my grandfather stocked the pond a long time ago. Bass brim and some carp in there to take care of the vegetation. So this is where we're going, making a tiny little trail. There is no way to access the other side of the property. The other side of this pond. The mouth of the pond, right over here, is swampy. It used to be an old road, tractor trail through the woods. My grandfather used to go over there on the other side of the top of the hill, called it Tobacco Hill, I'm pretty sure. And he used to access the other side of the property there and harvest dry some tobacco from these fields over here. It kind of wraps around the other side of the house there. Anyway, this is the trail that we're making. I'm hoping it gets access to the other side. It would help me with firewood. It would help me kind of manage the property a little better. But this is kind of what I'm getting into. Some of the areas over here are very ruddy, and it's from the old tractor trail that has slowly eroded some of the path here. You know, can't really see it. It doesn't really show undulation there of the road or of the ground. Anyway, so that's nice and soft now, unfortunately. Get a little better view here, the path of the opening. So I've been working on this area right here quite a bit. Obviously nothing for the last few days. Well, a little bit. I came out here a little bit, but it is super wet now. Super wet. Over here, super wet. That gets water over there also. All right, where were we? Anyway, I got so much stuff in my backpack. I try to find a better way for me to bring all this stuff down here. It's just so much when you're trying to make trails. This is it's a good 6 inches deep right there, that puddle. That's not good. So when it rains a lot, we've probably had an inch and a half the last few days. It rains a lot. This is something I'm gonna have to deal with. This is at least a foot of water right here. And this water eventually overflows that area and then runs to the mouth of the pond that feeds the pond. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to build something here so I can get a tractor over here, build something. So that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of work, probably, or maybe not. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I know this is gonna be muddy. Here's the creek, the other side, and that flows to the pond. We do have some beavers down here. They like to hang out and chew away at the trees, as you can see here, trying to dam it up here and there. If they could build me a bridge, I'd be super happy about that. They're great at it. Anyway, so it's just kind of, water just backs up here, and it's a little swampy back there. But on the other side of this creek, it gets much drier. Much drier. Still a little soft, but as it dries out, it does get drier. So it's really pretty on the other side over here, on top of the hill through the woods. That big old oak that's down right there. It's even kind of wet here. It's almost like another creek wants to start start right through there. That'll be bad news. All right, there's the path. There's the pond. And I got a lot of my trail building equipment with me. And I will go through that in a second, what I brought with me. I just had to find a better way to bring all this stuff over here, because it's just a long way back to the truck. All right, let's get over here. I think this is the old Tobacco Hill Road. Pretty sure it's either that or a logging road. But you can see the ditches are pretty wide. I think it's just erosion over the years, because these trees are 15 years old or so. I would say 10 to 15 years old. Some are a little larger than others. But on the other side of this road is the old tobacco barn. Super old. I don't exactly know when this was built. I'm sure my mom knows. Look at that old tank over there. It's pretty cool. Anyway, this thing has, the foundation is, or at least the wood has squatted kind of. You see how much lower it's gone over the years. It's really low to the ground. Maybe 4 feet, 3.5 feet, 4 feet to the bottom of the rafter here, right here. Yeah, it's not in good shape. But it's pretty neat what my grandfather and possibly my great grandfather did. I'm not for sure. My mom is obviously, she knows more information about that than I do. Here's the other really tall barn, tobacco barn, where they dried the tobacco. And I don't know anything about drying tobacco. I didn't grow up doing that, and some people around here did, my age. But I never did. We were not farming tobacco in this area when I was growing up, because I'm sure if we did farm tobacco, my grandfather probably would have had me do it. Let me see if I can go inside here without dying. Anyway, y'all can give you a good idea what's on the inside here. Pretty neat building. Pretty neat. So I'm sure that pipe was connected to something in here, you know, which there's 4 pipes, one on each corner. Goes all the way up through the roof. This is where they used to hang the tobacco, all the way up to the ceilings up there. But maybe that was the stove right there. That's kind of what it looks like, the furnace, you know, where they heated everything. And these pipes were probably connected to it. Heated everything up, probably, I'd imagine, to dry that tobacco as quickly as possible. Anyway, it's pretty neat. These boards are pretty cool. These are all rough sawn, you know, rough sawn lumber here. It's pretty cool. Vertical boards going all the way up to the roof line. That's pretty neat. Concrete foundation that is in terrible shape. A lot of that wood's in terrible shape too. So anyway, thought it'd be neat to build a trail back here so we can at least come to this side of the area. And if I could build a trail here, then I could build a trail all through those woods, connecting a lot of our property, which we can't even access. We could probably access it on a 4-wheeler, maybe, but we'd still have to do some clearing, maybe. But I'd like to make a little larger path. Look at this beautiful white oak right here. How big that boy is. Kind of splits there. It's got a weak crotch. That's not good. But it's beautiful. Beautiful tree. But y'all can see what I have to work with here. Lots of saplings, smaller trees. You can see all kind of the natural thing that's taking place from just the smaller trees just not making it, and the bigger trees just kind of taking over through here. A lot of carnage through here. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what I brought with me to clear some of the woods here. Okay, this is what I brought with me. And I brought a lot of this stuff, obviously not the chainsaw and not the mattock there, out of my tiny little bag here, my little, y'all see that? A little backpack. OGO. Super heavy for the battery especially, but I got the mattock. It's a smaller mattock. It's probably only a maybe a 2.5 foot, 3 foot long mattock handle there. I got the Sawzall here. This is for tree roots, some stumps, so I don't dull my blade here for the Ego saw. And I have these tree pruning Diablo blades here, carbide teeth blades. Okay, and that's for the Sawzall. I got two 20 volt max lithium batteries, 3.0 amp hours, 2 of them fully charged. And for the, the electric saw here, the battery saw is decent out here. I don't mind carrying it because you're doing so much cutting of the smaller tree stumps. You see the smaller tree stumps I'm working with here. You're doing so much of that, but you're not doing it everywhere. So it's kind of nice to just pull the trigger. It works when you need it to work, and then when you let off the trigger, it stops working. It's nice. You don't have to listen to the revving of the engine, any of that. So there we go. So we got the 7.5 amp hour battery fully charged. We've got some hand pruning saws here. Let's see if I can open this for you. All right, got the smaller one here. That might be 8-inch, like an 8-inch blade. That's probably a 10-inch blade or so. Something like that. These are also great for cutting stumps near the floor here of the forest. And hand pruners, this is great for briars especially, and for trees that you're trying to get around but you don't want to damage, and it's good for kind of taking some of the smaller limbs away. That's kind of nice. Some nice clean cuts. I don't know what kind this is, but it's like a ratcheting one, which is kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Is it Fiskars? Yes, it is Fiskars. There you go. And I believe this is a Fiskars. Is it Fiskars somewhere? I think this is, but I don't see it, so maybe it's not Fiskars. And then I just bought these gloves. These are pretty nice gloves, all leather, but they're not very stiff, which is what I like. I don't like the super stiff leather gloves. I like to be able to kind of feel what I have in my hand. That's nice. I just don't know how well they're going to do out here. As long as I don't get them wet too bad or in the dirt, they should be fine. But these things are like $17 gloves. They're super expensive. We'll see how well they work. This is everything I brought with me. Everything. There we go. See how well it works. I can do a lot with I brought out here. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to take some more of these smaller trees out, and we'll go from there. Okay, see lots of these tiny saplings here. We got some trees kind of overhanging. I'm not going to get rid of these bigger trees. This sweet gum right here I'm going to get rid of probably. There's a road right over here that you can barely see, but that goes that direction. That'd be really neat to clear that part out. I'm gonna show you a little footage. My battery life is terrible on my phone, y'all, so forgive me. It's not that good. But do remember, so I'm from the country club, right? Country club. You see the golf club and the axe there. And where are we going from the country club? To the country. That's exactly where we are today. In the woods. It's probably my favorite place to be. Outside my wood yard. I do enjoy my wood yard, but out here I just feel like you're exploring the entire time, which is pretty cool. You never know what you're gonna find out here in the woods. Anyway, so we'll get started. Good stuff. Good stuff. Just kind of directionally follow this real quick. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much. Just kind of. I mean, most of the stuff is like maybe 3 inches in diameter, maybe 4. That pine right there. And I'll cut it up again in half just to kind of make it a little bit easier to move around. That's what I do like about the electric chainsaw. When you're done cutting, it's over. It's It doesn't continue running, burning gas. That's nice. It's not as loud as a gas chainsaw. I'm gonna get rid of this guy too right here. Sweet gum. I'm gonna directionally follow that right here. I think probably the best place. Stuff is super small, so I don't really even have to put a notch in it. They're gonna get hung up, that's for sure. All right, y'all, let's see what the Sawzall can do. Getting these stumps close to the ground here. See what we can do around here. Just trying to kind of cut the stump to ground level, y'all, because this is not going to be like a road we're going to be driving cars on or anything. This is probably going to use quite a bit of the battery, just getting rid of this. Is only, this might be 2 inches in diameter, maybe 2.5 inches in diameter, this sweet gum, and that is a wet wood. Sweet gum smells okay, it's not the best. Let's see how long this takes. I do have a longer blade. This is only maybe a 8-inch long blade or so. Let's see what we can do here. I get as close as I can to ground level here. Ooh, that's gonna take a long time right there, y'all. A long time. I'll give you an idea. Watch this. At the very top, 2.5 inch diameter. Yeah, that didn't hardly do anything. Right? That would take forever. That would take forever. So we may just have to use the handsaw. I do have a new blade, and maybe that is going to make a difference in how quickly it'll cut. This is my little handsaw. I'll probably have to resort to this more than likely. Remember, these are the tree pruning saw blades from Diablo. These are 9-inch pruning blades. Well, now it says 3 bars, but it's probably closer to 2 bars. So this old blade here is just not the best. I don't know if you're supposed to like spray oil or put some oil on this blade, because I know it'll get kind of hot. It's not hot at all right now, but I know as it's working, it definitely will get hot. 9-inch Diablo blade. Tree pruning blade. See how that works, see how quickly that'll cut. It's a sweet gum, so it's very green right now. It's a live tree that I just fell. Should cut pretty quickly. We'll just do the top real quick. It's about a 2.5 inch diameter, like I said, stump on this tree. Really struggling. Really struggling. So maybe good for root cutting, but I don't think it's good for small limbing. This is a white oak, and this is about 1.5 inches in diameter. Did decent. I don't know why it's not cutting very well with the other one. I'm not using the tip either, so I'm kind of going back all the way to where it meets the yeah, so it's just gonna take a long time for that, but tree pruning handsaw here. This is, let's see what size it is. I mean, it's got to be close to 10 inches. Got to be close to 10 inches, all right? I couldn't even cut like half of this, and this is sweet gum. I would think this would be a little easier to cut than the harder white oak. But this stuff right here, and this is not a sharp blade either. I used this quite a bit the other day. But I'll give you an idea of how quickly or not quickly I can cut this. Give you an idea. All right, there we go. So it's probably 2 inches in diameter, something like that. And that's how quickly I could cut that with the hand pruning saw. All right, so I'm going to get back to kind of thinning out this area, and maybe I'll try and cut the stumps a little closer to the ground. I don't know. Let me get rid of some of this stuff over here because this is dangerous stuff. I'm gonna leave this in there, but I'll get rid of this and put it in a little plastic packaging here. My old saw blade. There we go. Put it back over there. Get a little closer. See if I can find some of those roots. Quick to get rid of that root. Big fella. It's much better for roots than it is for tree stumps. Much better. So if I could get to the roots around this sweet gum, which I'm telling you, the roots on the sweet gum are everywhere. And as soon as you cut one down, it sends off messages, and all these shoots start growing up from the roots. It's a mess. Anyway, we'll get rid of some of these smaller ones. Some of these smaller guys in here. Took forever. All right, y'all, still out here in the woods making a path. A little mistake. So I use this Matic pick here as leverage, and probably don't want to use it as leverage to try and get some of these tree stumps out. Yeah, so what I've been doing is being real careful, obviously, you know. But with this end right here, this is what I've been doing to some of the tree stumps, like girdling the bottom of it all the way around it, so that way I can get it kind of close with my chainsaw blade. You can see that. There's another one. As close as I can. I'm doing that with the stumps. That seems to work pretty well. This is better. This is better. The little handsaw here is better for the smaller stumps. Chainsaw is better for the bigger stumps because that would take me, I don't know, a long time to cut right there. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've made some progress back here. So there's this big, massive ditch. It's like an old rut from either like I said, a logging trail. See, there's one rut and the other rut's on the other side. Anyway, I've just been putting some pine here, trying to level it out between there. That way we can get across it pretty easily. With probably my tractor will come back here first before golf cart, or I don't know if a golf cart will make it. I don't know if you can see the size of that ditch right there. If I can get it kind of close to ground level. You'll see that big embankment right over here. Right there, big swell. And it's the same way over there too. So this is just some softwood here. This is how much small kind of trees, pine trees that I fell, besides this one maple right here that was rotten and in rough shape. Yeah. So that's cleared it out a little bit there, but there's a lot to be done over here. Look at that. Look at the difference. Beautiful. Working on this trail, this part of it. Back here, there's a little tiny little white oak right there I'm gonna get rid of, I believe. So there we go. There's a little update for you.